Hello again, good morning, good evening, good afternoon everybody. It's me again today, second video of the day, because this is something that I've been meaning to do for some time, but it's a bit of a hoo-ha because the printer is in the office, which is in Gibraltar. I have to give my boss some money for his printer ink because it's really expensive. But I have finally completed the letter that I'm going to send to Alphabet Incorporated. Now this video, as I'll read the letter out to you, it's to do with Wally and Trevor and people who work at YouTube, people I suspect, and these are only my suspicions, I suspect that based on the weird decisions to demonetize Trevor, for example, the refusal to explain why he's been demonetized, when he will be remonetized, why Wally lost her channels, all the weird decisions has basically lost my trust in YouTube. We've tried everything, as you know. I wrote to Mr. Simpson, you all wrote to Mr. Simpson, Wally wrote to Mr. Simpson. His department did reply. Wally did send me the letter, and it basically passed the buck and said, we can't do anything at Google UK, this is for California. It was worded in a very weird and slightly nervous way, like, whoa, we don't want to get involved in this. I believe that if there are investigations, and perhaps if the Daily Mail ever got any evidence, I believe this would be probably one of the biggest stories ever. Because who hasn't suffered online bullying at some point or another? So I'll read out the letter, which will be going recorded delivery to... and I will put the address as well in the description of this video, so if any of you guys also want to write, it is to Alphabet Incorporated. Alphabet own Google. Google own YouTube. There is a thing, and I will put a link to it, called the Code of Conduct that is expected of employees, staff, board directors of Alphabet, Google, YouTube and all the other companies. They expect a certain standard of behaviour, which is things like they shouldn't make decisions based on their own political beliefs, they shouldn't make decisions that are unfair, they shouldn't receive bribes, etc, etc. And if anybody knows of anything or suspects that might be going on, then they ask, can you write to us and whistleblow? So this is a whistleblowing video. This is a whistleblowing letter. And it's under the rules of whistleblowing that I'm going by this. There's nothing defamatory in this letter. It is asking questions, perhaps awkward questions, that some people would prefer were not asked. So it's Alphabet Incorporated. It is for the attention of workplace concern at 1600 Amphitheatre Parkway, Mountain View, California, 94043. And again, I'll put that address in the description with the link to the Google Code of Practice. Dear Sir, Madam, I am writing to you under the gravest of circumstances. I believe there is employee corruption within YouTube, your company, that requires urgent investigation. These are my suspicions based on the following... Oh, Trevor! Okay, take 3. I've turned my Wi-Fi off on the phone now. So, getting back to the letter. Right, I'll start from the beginning again. There won't be any phone calls this time. These are my suspicions based on the following 2 cases of 2 harmless YouTubers who have been abused, in my opinion, at the hands of individuals working within your organisation. The case of Trevor Coult MC, who was demonetised last year in September with no full explanation other than he was accused of harassing 2 protected people, end quotes. The 2 protected people were never named or identified to him. I am one of his subscribers and a friend, and I can see no reason for his demonetisation. He was told to do better, whatever that means, presumably to educate himself. even though no explanation from YouTube employees responsible for making these decisions has been forthcoming in order to help him learn to do better. After a period of weeks, he was reassessed, having deleted a great deal of his own videos. Being more careful of his language, he was then told they could not remonetize him as they did not have sufficient information. He was assessed again and again, and very similar responses are given. Deliberately vague language, short messages that are so ambiguous they could literally mean anything and are heavily open to any combination of interpretations. Trevor is a decorated war veteran who has been critical of Prince Harry and his wife. Could this be the protected couple? Trevor has also been the target of an online bullying campaign conducted by Christopher Boozy of Sentinel, who featured in the Netflix documentary Harry and Meghan, who both appear in their own show to endorse Mr. Boozy and applaud his online efforts on Twitter to bully and harass Trevor and others. Christopher Boozy bragged on Twitter that he could have Trevor taken down. Who is making the decisions about Trevor's channel? Do they have ulterior motives? Why do they refuse to give explanations? Is it possible that they have personal reasons? Are they in receipt of bribes? Have they made equally odd decisions on other YouTube channels, and if so, why? Should Alphabet Incorporated allow such behaviour? If it is the case of their employees, does this damage Alphabet Incorporation's brand and reputation? The case of Yankee Wally, another YouTuber of harmless content critiquing the British royal family. In March of 2022, her channel was deleted. She created a second channel some months later, which was absolutely fine until, again, Christopher Boozy discovered it. He bragged that he could have it taken down, and so it was. She created a third channel. Again, it was taken down. Again, no explanation has ever been forthcoming. Again, Yankee Wally, otherwise known as Sadie Quinlan, was on the receiving end of a terror campaign of bullying from Christopher Boozy of Sentinel, the same man apparently endorsed by Prince Harry and his wife. Who made the decisions about the Yankee Wally channels? Do they have ulterior motives? Why do they refuse to give explanations? Is it possible that they have personal reasons? Are they in receipt of bribes? Have they made equally odd decisions on other YouTube channels, and if so, why? Should Alphabet Incorporated allow such behaviour if it is the case of their employees? Does this damage Alphabet Incorporated's brand and reputation? I'm writing this as an open letter to your commission to investigate and look into the possibility that you have employees who are making decisions about YouTube content creators affecting real people's lives for possibly nefarious or underhanded reasons. This letter is accompanied by a video on my own YouTube channel, Avid Gardener. These are important questions that I am asking in this letter and on my accompanying video. Why did Prince Harry and his wife include Christopher Boozy in their own production? Presumably they had full editorial control over the content of their documentary. Why would they endorse such a practice on Twitter? I would urge you to investigate at your earliest convenience the names of the employees at YouTube that have made any of these decisions. Fiona Hesketh. And that's the letter. It is an absolute fact, because as you all know, I only want to deal in facts and I don't like doing anything defamatory. I saw the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary. I saw and heard Prince Harry referring to bot Sentinel. I saw and heard Christopher Boozy participate in their production, in their documentary, which they created and sold to Netflix. Why did they have him in the programme? Who said that he is an internet expert? Are they aware of his online bullying tactics? Because by just having him in the documentary, they are endorsing him. They are, wittingly or unwittingly, they are endorsing a man who has led online bullying campaigns against at least 2 people that we know of. And we actually know there's been a hell of a lot more. So those are big questions for Prince Harry and his wife to answer, I think. Also, because I want to try and make sure that I get everything in this, the people who work at Alphabet, let's say I'm right, you've got some rogue employees who are either Harry and Meghan fans, and they're doing these sorts of things off their own back because they love Harry and his wife, or maybe they're taking bribes. But whatever the reason is, it's going to lead to a loss of trust, and that is going to hurt your brand. If you go into the records, you should be able to see who demonetised Trevor. Which of your employees was the person who made the decision to demonetise Trevor Coult? And then have a look at their history, their work history, and see what other decisions they have been making on YouTube as an employee of yours. And then, presumably, if they're an employee of yours, you know their real name, and you can look around on social media to see if they've been saying anything naughty or cheeky or bullying people online or have any affiliation with Christopher Boozy. Now, I would urge you guys at Alphabet Incorporated to look into this. It's not going to go away. I know there are British newspapers, British press, who are digging and who are interested in getting to the bottom of what's been going on. Why people have been actively bullied online. Why was that man featured in their documentary? Why is that man, Christopher Boozy, bragging and crowing that he can bully and hurt YouTubers and content creators, and then they are demonetized, deleted or removed? So it would seem, unless it is an unbelievable coincidence, that he does have some influence over employees at your company. Or is your company making these decisions? Answers have to be given. You can't continue like this. Too many people are beginning to notice. I wish Samantha Markle all the luck in the world with her lawsuit against her sister. I hope she succeeds. I wish Nate the lawyer all the success in the world with his case of defamation against Christopher Boozy. And I'm very glad to hear that Nate the lawyer and Samantha Markle are collaborating and working together. And bit by bit, other people are joining in and people are joining up the dots. But it is your responsibility, Alphabet Incorporated, under your own code of conduct, a link of which is in the description to this video, which says that your employees, even board directors, must be held to the highest of standards. You must be impartial. People are losing their free speech. That's bad enough anywhere else, but in America, you have your amendments. What's going on? You have to look into this. Further than that, I can't say any more. I will update anybody on any developments that I get. That letter will be sent, recorded delivery, and we see what response we get. I actually believe there will be a response of some sort from it. And you guys can also, if you wish, the address is in the description of this video. I will also put the address in a top pinned comment. And if you so wish to write to Alphabet Incorporated at their Workplace Concern Department at 1600 Amphitheatre Parkway, Mountain View, California, 94043, on behalf of Trevor or Wally, to say that you're concerned, if you share my concerns, that there could be a bit of naughtiness, cheekiness, and people monkeying about who are employees at YouTube, and they're deleting people, demonetizing people as a favour because they're a fan or for bribes. If you suspect any of those things, you too have every right to write into these people on behalf of Trevor Coult and to whistleblow like me and ask them to look into it. Because I cannot understand the weird decisions that are being made at YouTube, at Google, and presumably Alphabet at the top of the food chain may not even know about this, so let's bring it to their attention. I'd also like to add that this video is not monetised and never will be, because this is a community-spirited video on behalf of two fellow YouTubers, Yankee Wally and Trevor Coult. Let's try and get Wally back, and let's try and get Trevor remonetised. It is unfair, it is unjust, and it has to stop. I hope you agree with me. Thank you very much for listening, as always.